What's it doing? Well, it started. Okay, it started before I was ready. Look, you can see in the mirror of my headboard my phone as it's recording. See? Ain't that funny? Well, let me get this light pulled over here. I'll tell you about, okay, so we moved from New Mexico when I was in the middle of the third grade. And Dad and our stepmom, Pat, had split up. And he got custody of James, my little brother. So we moved back to Texas, and where did we live right away? Well, I guess Dad had some money saved up. Dad was a tightwad, and he did save money, so I guess he had some money saved up. So he bought this little quarter-acre piece of land on the kind of on the outskirts of Leander, just kind of, sort of, not real far out. It might have still been part of it, but it was this area, several acres. I don't know how to guess how many acres it was. It wasn't real huge. You could walk from one end to the other. You know, you could walk around the whole circumference of it, you know. It was like a big, huge rectangle. There were quite a few streets, and quite a few people that lived out there. Some of them in houses and some of them in trailer houses. And the land that we moved on to, it had a slope to it. Behind our land was a wooded area, and it sloped down from, see if I can guess which way's east and west. Okay, that way was north, so that way would be west. Okay, the west behind our house, a wooded area. It sloped down, a long gradual slope on down across where the highway went by, past the ranchettes. It was the High Chaparral ranchettes. That's what it was. Anyway, it was real, that little plot that we lived on was kind of up on a hill. It had sloped down, had kind of more of a slope to it than the rest of the land further down. And it was real super rocky, Calichian rocks. Rocky. Well, it had there's some black dirt on it. Because most of the soil, you know, in Central Texas is real rich black dirt. Well, it's almost black, dark brown. It's real sticky when it gets wet. But we was pretty rocky. It was mostly rocky on our little plot there. And one time, I was in grade school and I lived there, and Dad bought a brand new trailer house. It wasn't real big. It was 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The bathrooms, well, Dad had his master bedroom, which wasn't real super big, and beside there was the master bathroom, and it was big enough that you could put a washer and dryer in there. Well, we never did have a dryer. We got a washer, but not a dryer. We always had to hang stuff out on the clothesline. And because Dad was a tight one. If he could save money somewhere, he would. And then there was the kitchen and living room in the middle, and they were kind of small. And then our bedrooms were tiny, with a bathroom in between them. Real small bathroom in betwixt. And that trailer was, sitting on a hill like that. Well, when Dad set the trailer house up out there, of course, trailer house, the back of the trailer was closer to the ground, but along the front side of it, it was way up there because of the ground sloping down like that. So, anyway, Dad built a little porch. It wasn't real small, a fairly fair-sized porch. Built it up level with the front door. It was, I'm going to guess, I don't know how big it was. But I was a kid in grade school. And Dad didn't put any railings on that porch. It needed railings because it was up high enough. It needed. Just one day I stepped off that porch backwards, and I fell and hit the ground flat on my back. And boy, how did that hurt. I had to lay there a while before I could get up. And, of course, I was crying and all because it hurts damn bad. And, but, as usual, when we got hurt, we didn't get a bit of pity or sympathy. We didn't get didn't get no comfort. We'd hear stuff like, well, maybe you'll know better next time, or you ought to watch where you're going, or, stuff like that. We didn't get no comfort. Anyway, one time I sprained my ankle real bad. I don't remember how it happened. I just remember my ankle swelled up real big and it hurt so bad there was no way I could walk on it. And of course I was crying and all because it hurt, and Dad didn't do anything. He didn't wrap it up or put ice on it or do whatever you do for a sprained ankle. I mean, he just told me you're going to have to walk on that because you got to go to school tomorrow. But I don't remember if I went to school next day or not. And if I did, I don't remember how the heck I would have got there because we didn't ride the bus. We walked to school. It was about 2 miles one way to school. So we walked 4 miles a day. 2 miles to school, 2 miles back. When you walked to school, the land sloped down, so it was easy. Walking back home, we had to walk uphill, a slope all the way up 2 miles to the house. In any and every kind of weather. If it was raining, snowing, it didn't matter, we had to walk. We never once rode the bus. I don't know why, but Dad didn't want us riding the bus. And I remember Dad had us milk ordered, and the milkman would bring us a gallon of milk in a big old glass jug. And to me, back then, as a little kid, that jug looked like it was about the size of a 5-gallon bucket. Of course it wasn't, but it looked that way to me because I was a little kid. But oh boy, we just loved it. Oh, that milk was so good. We always looked forward to it. Yeah, back behind our house, there was no other people living, and oh, it psoriasis drives me crazy. There was woods all way back behind our house, and they was full of small, kind of small to medium-sized oak trees and cedar trees and juniper trees. And I just loved to go back there, and I'd climb the trees. I had my favorite trees I'd climb up in, and none of them was very big. And I'd play around, and sometimes a girl from school, she'd go out back there with me, and we'd play around out in the woods. And we just liked going out in the woods, you know. You know how kids are. I enjoyed that. I'm thankful to God that we never came across a snake. God looked out for us. Now, it was about, I'm going to guess it was a full acre, at least maybe 2 acres of those woods. They're pretty thick wood. They were pretty thick. And you couldn't just run through there. You'd run into some branches and stuff, and it was pretty thick. And but you go all the way through to the other side of that, and there's a dirt road. And right across that dirt road was some more wooded areas, and there was this great, big, huge oak tree. And the trunk of that tree went almost straight up, and it went up for a long ways. And somebody a long time ago had nailed boards for steps on that tree. Well, the boards had gotten rotted, you know, and some of them fell off, and there was just the nails sticking out and parts of the boards. And there's a little bitty tree house up there. All it was just 2 or 3 boards, just a few feet long, put up there in the crotch of the tree. That's all it was. You couldn't really call it a tree house, but I guess you could. But anyway, it was hard as heck to climb up there, and dangerous. And of course I did it. Many times I climbed up in that tree house, and then it was absolute hell trying to get back down. Absolute hell, hanging onto that tree for dear life and trying to put my foot somewhere. Oh my. I was nuts when I was a kid. I'd do things that was real hard like that. I'd put myself in a jam. I don't know why. Just to see if I could, I guess. Just to prove to myself I could, I guess. Oh man, we had hell. I had hell. Going up that thing, coming back down, you get up there and you sit up there on them boards. It's dangerous. You look down, the ground's way on down there. You know if you fall out, it'll break your neck. It'll kill you if you fall out. You know that. But you climb up it anyway like a nut job. If there's 2 people climbs up there at the same time, sitting up there on them little boards that weren't real long. The crotch of that tree wasn't real big. You had to be real careful not to cause the other person to fall. Man, that was dangerous. Boy, I did a lot of dangerous stuff when I was a kid. Oh my God, that Dad never knew about. And we did some crazy shit when I was a kid. Crazy. I remember one day, our septic tank was just a big hole dug in the ground. And Dad had put a couple pieces of plywood across it. Or maybe he just put one across it, I don't know. I don't know if it had one or two. But anyway, it had plywood laying over it. That was so dangerous. Thank God us kids had better sense than to play around the edge of that thing. Oh, God. Well, one day he flipped it over. He picked up that plywood and flipped it over. Oh, my God. And on the other side of it was this huge, nasty earthworm. I'd never seen one so big before, and I have never seen one that big since then. Big old nasty, nasty thing. Oh my God, it was huge. It was horrible, like something from a horror movie. Oh my God. It had to have been at least 3 feet long. It was, I mean, it had some size to it. A nasty thing. God. Oh, I don't know why Dad flipped that over. He just wanted to check out the sewer, I guess. Oh. Oh. We had some chickens for a while, because Dad always liked to have chickens. And there was one rooster that was real mean. Every time we set foot outside the backyard, we'd get flogged by that mean rooster. Dad was expecting us to put up with it. Well, one day, our granny came to visit Dad's mom. And she went outside one day, and the rooster flogged her. Well, when he flogged her, then Dad decided to do something about it. He killed that rooster. We also had some geese, a couple of geese, gray ones. I think they was. Was it gray? I think they was. Anyway, one of them was really mean. Oh, God, he was mean. He chases. They got them little serrated edges, like on a knife, and serrated edges on both sides of their beaks. And they'll bite you like that, and they'll do like that to try to just cut you with them serrated edges. I mean, they'll pinch you down. They'll do like that with their beak. Hurt. Oh, they're mean. Oh, mean. I was such a crazy kid. Thank God times were a little different back then than they are now, or I'd have been, oh God, I would have got set up. Shit. Oh, some kind of a jail for kids. I wanted to show off. I liked to show off when I was a kid. I'd do the craziest crap. Well, I had this purse, kind of like an oblong basket. And Dad had a handgun. I don't even know if it was loaded or not. I put that gun in my purse, and I sashayed off to school. The class sat down. And I waited till the teacher went out of the room, and then I opened up my purse and said, "Look, y'all, look what I got." Of course, kids told the teacher she got a gun. The teacher told me, "You take that back home. You take that gun right back home." And I had to walk 2 miles back to the house to take that gun back, and then 2 miles back to school. I had to go back to school till the end of the day, and then walk another 2 miles back home. So that was 1, 2, that was 8 miles in one day I had to walk. That's from carrying that gun to school like a crazy nut. Just crazy as hell. I didn't have no better sense. Didn't even know if it was loaded or nothing. Didn't think about it being dangerous or nothing. I just wanted to show off. Look what I got. Crazy. I remember we would pay, or it was less than $1 for lunch. The teacher would be sitting at a desk right outside the lunchroom doors, and we'd all be lined up and we'd pay for our lunch, and we'd go in the cafeteria. Well, I overheard a girl telling that teacher, I'm a lunchroom worker, so they let her in to eat for free. Well, guess what? I did that a couple of times. And I got 2 free lunches, and then the teachers found out that I had not been helping out in the kitchen. So, I don't know where the girls would find a time to help out in the lunchroom and have time for their class. I don't know how that worked out. I never did help out in the lunchroom, so I don't know. Or did I? Seems like I did. I remember putting them trays up, stacking them trays up, getting them out of a machine and stacking them up. Maybe I did work a day in there. I don't know. I don't remember everything. I remember, I think it was the 5th grade, there was this gal, she was new from out of town. And every day she'd come to school wearing this dress that was dadgum short. It was like a top. I mean, she just barely bent over. She barely lean over, and you could see her underwear in the back. And when she sat down, a lot of times you could see her panties in the front. Just a super mini dress. And it was ridiculous. And one day I told her, I said, your dress is too short. And she got real mad. Cussed me out. I don't remember what she said, but she cussed me out. Said, your dress is too short. It was. Somebody needed to tell her shit. Ridiculous. Anyway. Then there's one day, well, he met this other gal. I don't know where in the world he met her. My second stepmother, her name was Jean. Her and Dad were not compatible at all. They were not compatible. But I guess they both wanted somebody, so they took up with each other. And she's the one that one day when I was at school, she took all my dolls, my toys, my comic book collection, everything I owned, my dollhouse, everything, and got rid of it. I have no idea what she did with that stuff. She got rid of everything I owned. All I had was my clothes. After that, I came home from school and all my stuff was gone. She said, I got rid of your stuff. You're too old for that stuff now. She didn't have any right to do that. And my dad wouldn't say anything to her about it because he was intimidated by her. She was an overbearing kind of a person. And my dad was timid. So, I don't know. He married her because he was lonesome, I guess. He wanted help with us kids. Anyway, their marriage didn't last real long, maybe a couple of years. I don't know for sure how long. But she lived in an old antique farmhouse. Old. It was historical. It had been, when it was originally built, it had been a stage stop. And somehow or other, her mother came to own it. I don't know if her mother inherited it or what, but Jean inherited it from her mother when her mother died. So, and that house was old. One day, now Dad was gone somewhere, and I don't know why he didn't drive his truck. I don't know what he drove, but he left his truck there. And how old was I? I was probably about 12. Well, how old was I? Somewhere around, I don't know, 11 or 12. I decided, I skipped school that day. I just didn't want to go to school that day. I just did not feel like it, so I didn't. I decided I was going to go over to Jean's house. So I got in Dad's truck. I guess he'd left the keys in it, I don't know. I didn't know how to drive. It was a big old royal blue Ford pickup, and it was his work truck. Dad was a carpenter. After he left New Mexico, he joined the Carpenters Union in Austin, and so he became a carpenter, and he had a bunch of tools and stuff in there. But anyway, I don't know what possessed me to do that. I don't know how I had the nerve to do it. Just a crazy kid. I got in that truck, started it up, and I drove around back way on that long road, back road called Old Baghdad Road, and drove on up, way on up there, long ways on up there, where it crossed an intersection where it would cross, I don't remember what that road's called now, Nameless Road. Cross Nameless Road, and then it would proceed on towards Liberty Hill. Well, Jean's farmhouse was on 40 acres right there on that corner. You cross that intersection and then go up just a little bit of ways, and you can see it, of course, right from that intersection. And it's on the right side of the road going to Liberty Hill. And so I pulled on up in the driveway there, and I don't know why, I thought I had to put the emergency brake on, but after I pulled up and stopped, I put the emergency brake on. Well, it wasn't long, Jean showed up. She showed up, she come home from work, and she said, "What are you doing here?" You know, it was stupid of me to go to her house like that. She wasn't a real nice person anyway. She wasn't. She got mad at me. And I don't remember if I drove the truck back home or if Dad came and got it or what. I don't remember after that. It's pretty crazy. And then not long after that, we moved. What grade was I in? We moved again in the summertime before I started into the 6th grade. And that's another story. That's another story. But you know how I got my comic book collection was every day walking home from school. Well, a lot of times I would skip lunch so I would have that change. Because there was a little bitty convenience store that somebody had opened up going on the road going towards our house. So after school I'd stop in there and I'd get candy and comic books. I love them comic books. Man, I wish I had them. They was good ones. Good ones. Sad Sack and Richie Rich and horror comic books and all kinds. I like them comic books, man. Gene got rid of all of that. Oh, God. Oh, God. My vintage dolls that can't be replaced, well, maybe they could if I knew how to get online and pay. I don't want to put my information on my debit card on the web, on the internet, I don't feel safe about doing that. I know there's PayPal, and I don't know how that works, but you got to have a debit card or something like that, and you got to put your information on the line there, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. So I can't buy anything from Amazon or wherever. I sure would like to get some more of them vintage dolls. One of them I liked real well was Dawn Doll. In the early 70s, they came out with that Dawn Doll. She looked like a Barbie doll, except she was 6 inches tall. Real pretty doll. Pretty little dolls, man. Well, Gene got rid of it. I had a Miss Revlon doll, lady doll, real beautiful. Lady doll, she had black hair. Beautiful lady doll, Miss Revlon, and she was the shorter one, not the 20-something inches. She was the shorter one. She was close to the height of a Barbie doll in that neighborhood. I don't know exactly how tall it was. Man, I'd like to have another one of them. Oh, I'd like to have another one of them. They're so hard to find. Dang. I want one so bad. I want another one with black hair. And when my mom was young, she had jet black hair. My mother was half Cherokee, and she had jet black hair, real beautiful. My dad loved her black hair. He loved it. My dad had black hair too, but his was more of a, his wasn't jet black, it was more of a real super dark brownish black. But it looked black most of the time. He'd put oil in it like men used to do back then, and comb it, and that oil would make his hair stay. And my oldest brother inherited Dad's hair color, brownish black. Looks nice. Looks really nice. And my brother Judd was born with blonde hair, and as he got older, it turned more of a sandy, and it got more of turned more of a brown. And it was a reddish brown, kind of a reddish brown. when it was young, and then it just turned into just a plain brown, kind of a plain brown. And my hair has always been brown, a medium brown, or medium to dark, with a red and brassy lights, both in a dark to medium brown. Now that I've gotten a lot older, it's still brown, but it's got a lot of I don't know. It's kind of turned into kind of a dull, hard, dark brown with gobs of gray hair mixed in. You can't really tell it in this light right here, but in the natural light you can sure see my hair's just shot through with gray. And when I still got some orange in my hair from the last time I dyed it. And next time I get a haircut, I'll get that cut out, and then it'll be all natural. I'm just going to leave it that way. Well, it is, I wonder what time it is. It is, what time is it? It is, it's after 4 o'clock in the morning, and I have not gone to sleep yet. My husband went to Odessa today, and he'll be back home in the morning. I should have took my sleeping pills. I should have took them about 5 hours ago. Oh, I have to take sleeping pills, but I can't hardly get to sleep. I don't know why. All my life I've been a light sleeper, but it's not that. It's, I don't know what it is, but I'm getting older and just can't get to sleep. I'm gonna have to take these pills at work on getting to sleep. I did a load of laundry a little while ago. Got it going in the dryer. These pills I take are called, let me see, hydroxyzine. Hydroxyzine. I have to take, the doctor told me to take one of them, but one of them don't help me. I have to take 2 of them. Man, it's getting so hard for me to get around, I'll tell you what. These are hydroxy, let's see what, they're 25 milligrams. That's not much. I take 2 of them, so I get 50 milligrams. Well, y'all, next time I'll tell you the story about when how we moved, and when Dad and Jean got married and all that. That's another story that's interesting. So I'll talk to y'all later. Good night.